Good morning, I'm Craig DeGrelli. It's Wednesday, April 16th, 2025, and these are your Unbiased Updates. A dramatic rescue in South Africa, how police there were able to save a kidnapped American missionary. And the U.S. military gets set to take on a greater role at the southern border. The specific area Army soldiers will soon be patrolling.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world, these are today's Unbiased Updates.
New this morning, South African police say an American missionary reportedly kidnapped at gunpoint during a church service has now been rescued in what they say was a high-intensity shootout. Fellowship Baptist Church of Tennessee confirmed on its Facebook page this morning Josh Sullivan has been released, although South African police have not yet identified the person they rescued by name. A police spokesperson says 3 unidentified suspects were killed during the operation on Tuesday. It was led by the South African Police Service's Elite Hawks unit. 6 armed men reportedly kidnapped Sullivan during a church service last week while his wife and children were present near the city once known as Port Elizabeth. South African investigators say they learned the captors were holding an abducted American citizen believed to be Sullivan at a safe house. They say when officers approached, the suspects inside a vehicle opened fire on them and attempted to take off. That ultimately led to the deadly shootout. A police spokesperson says the officers found the American inside the same vehicle as the suspects, and he was, quote, miraculously unharmed. They say medical personnel assessed him, and he is in excellent condition. The federal judge overseeing the case of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador, is ordering the sworn testimony of Trump administration officials to determine if the administration complied with her orders to facilitate his return. The order from U.S. District Judge Paula Zinas in Maryland comes after the administration has refused to retrieve Abrego Garcia and defied a Supreme Court order to do so. Trump administration lawyers have contended that facilitate only means to remove domestic obstacles. Zinas is calling on 4 Trump administration officials who work for Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the Department of Homeland Security, and the State Department to testify. Abrego Garcia's lawyers have asked that the administration be found in contempt of court over its inaction. The judge says she wants to review whatever evidence the administration submits first, including sworn depositions, which must be completed by next Wednesday. Trump administration officials claim they lack the authorities to bring the Salvadoran national back from his native country. And during a White House visit on Monday, El Salvador's president said he would not return Abrego Garcia, saying that would be, quote, smuggling a terrorist into the United States. In one of his first public appearances since leaving the White House, former President Joe Biden admonished the Trump administration's efforts for what he believes are impending cuts to Social Security. During his speech at the National Conference of Advocates, Counselors, and Representatives for the Disabled in Chicago on Tuesday, Biden said the Trump White House has inflicted breathtaking and devastating damage to the program.
Why are these guys taking aim at Social Security now? Well, they're following that old line from tech startups. The quote is, move fast, break things. Well, they're certainly breaking things. They're shooting first and aiming later. And as a result, the result is a lot of needless pain and sleepless nights. My friend Governor O'Malley knows what they're really up to. He says, and I love his quote, they want to wreck it so they can rob it. They want to wreck it so they can rob it. And why do they want to rob it? In order to deliver huge tax cuts to billionaires and big corporations and keep it going. They want to make permanent the 2017 tax cuts, which overwhelmingly benefited the wealthiest Americans and the biggest corporations.
The former president's comments come as Democrats have criticized President Trump's leadership over Social Security, which provides benefits to more than 70 million Americans. The Social Security Administration responded to Biden's remarks on X, saying former President Joe Biden is lying to Americans. President Trump has repeatedly promised to protect Social Security and ensure higher take-home pay for seniors by ending taxation on Social Security benefits. The Trump administration also accuses Biden of making illegal payments to millions of undocumented migrants. As President Trump continues to crack down on illegal border crossings, Army soldiers will patrol a 170-mile buffer zone along the southern border between Mexico and Arizona, as well as New Mexico. It will be called a national defense area. Trespassers in the zone or on the land would be taken into custody, just like illegally entering a military base. American officials told ABC News the initial phase of the zone will stretch from a base in southeastern Arizona east into New Mexico. Some analysts believe it's a way for the administration to militarize the border and allow soldiers to carry out law enforcement duties by declaring federal property a military base where migrants who get caught crossing will be detained. In a related note, 2 service members were killed and a third was seriously injured when their military vehicle crashed in New Mexico Tuesday morning near the border. The wreck happened on New Mexico Highway 9 near the Santa Teresa border in Doña Ana County, New Mexico, about a dozen miles north of El Paso, Texas. So far, the military has not released any information on the victims. We do know the service members were assigned to Border Patrol duties as part of a task force ordered by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth in an effort to combat illegal immigration and the drug trade. The CDC says a large number of measles cases are being missed by health authorities, and the agency is now struggling to keep up with requests for support from states responding to outbreaks. This comes as the measles outbreak in western Texas continues to grow, with 561 cases now confirmed, according to new data published Tuesday. That marks an increase of 20 new cases over the last 5 days. Almost all of the cases are in people who are unvaccinated or sufferers whose vaccination status is unknown. That's according to the Texas Department of State Health Services. More than 700 measles cases have been reported nationwide so far this year, making 2025 the second worst on record in decades. Finally this morning, any avid book lover knows when it comes to moving, packing up your tomes and lugging them from one place to the next is among life's biggest hassles. But one Michigan bookstore seems to have found a hack for that. Residents of all ages lined the streets of downtown Chelsea to help Serendipity Books move to its new home, a block from its old one. The so-called Bookstore Brigade was a 300-person human chain. Volunteers transported, get this, more than 9,000 books one by one while keeping them alphabetized and delivering them directly to their correct shelves at the new location. Wow! The store owner says it was a good way to get the community involved. The move took just under 2 hours, way less time than if she had hired a moving company to box and unbox them all. Also proving that many hands make light work. Having moved 8 times since the year 2000, I can tell you, moving is one of the most stressful things you'll ever do. Great to see all those people get involved and all pitch in. Those are your Unbiased Updates for this Wednesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. For all of us here at Straight Arrow News, I'm Craig DeGrelli. Have a great day.